is an interesting one. I love anything with Starfield Mystic. I also love Wrath against all the aggressive decks. This is a little bit too many lands. I don't know that we'd find a better 6 though. And this sort of supports a couple different game plans. So I'm going to give it a try. And at least we have all of our colors here. There's just so much we can draw that makes Starfield Mystic excellent, like a Doom Foretold. Looks like we're up against Temur Clover here. And I want to make sure I can play the Doom Foretold on turn 3, so we're going to go ahead and go grab a swamp here. Maybe it's not Temur Clover, actually. This is a lot of green mana. Could be some sort of just big green deck. Oh, wow. Okay. So I suspect there's probably at least one copy of the Great Henge in this one. The good news is, unlikely to have a lot of removal, so Starfield Mystic is likely to stick around. Unless they're playing something like Wicked Wolf. I don't think they play Warbrier's Blessing or anything kind of that unique. I feel like they're likely to just adapt the Growth Chamber Guardian here. Could also run out that Lovestruck Beast. Yorvo. I like our opponent's style. I think it makes sense to Vanishing Light Yorvo. If we Doom Foretold here, they sack Growth Chamber. We have to sack on our turn, and it's probably Doom Foretold. Although we could then double spell next turn, so I am going to run with that. Maximize our mana efficiency while we can. And then we do have the potential to Wrath them on a future turn as well. We're likely to find another black source with the Treacherous Blessing. So if they overcommit to the board, that will be our go-to game plan. And I like to play fast and loose with the life total, so I'll definitely allow them to smack us down to a pretty low life total before going with that plan. Okay. Not blocking here. Get rid of Doom Foretold. Start growing this Starfield Mystic a bit. Oh, double Banishing Light. That's pretty nice. Feels even better than running the Treacherous Blessing out there this turn. Say goodbye to Yorvo and goodbye to the Lovestruck Beast. And I'm even going to get in there. Send a message, start beating down myself. So they are stuck on lands. Yeah, I'm telling you, Starfield is so good. Okay, let's go ahead and to Fairy into Treacherous Blessing to save a life. Although we could, yeah, there's not a ton of things I would hit off the Treacherous Blessing that I would feel the need to absolutely play on this turn. We go ahead and do this.
I won't, don't worry, I got this.
Alright, and Doom Foretold is definitely what we were looking for. One of the nice things that I mentioned in the deck tech is if somehow your opponent does start to flood the board with creatures, like a green deck is likely to do, the combination of the Wrath and Doom Foretold is a really good way to actually get the Doom Foretold to fire off. And they are ignoring Teferi to try to close out the game. Makes sense. But yeah, we're going to grow this Starfield to majestic proportions in the very near future. So we'll run out the Doom Foretold. And I could consider just playing another Teferi. I don't really see the need for that right now, so I'm going to keep it in hand. And definitely not running into the Lovestruck Beast there. And now they're in a really tough spot. Green doesn't have the ability to do direct damage. And we're just going to have so many things to sacrifice. So, yeah, they throw in the towel, rightly so. Okay. And against a mono green deck, Aether Gust has to have some targets. So that's a sure thing. Cry of the Carnarium doesn't seem very good against them. It does get rid of the 1/1s from Lovestruck Beast and potentially an early Pelt Collector. But a lot of their creatures are just much bigger. Legion's End also doesn't seem to hit a ton of what they were doing. I think we're going to mostly keep our deck as it is. Cutting one Treacherous Blessing, because the game's unlikely to go super long. And also cutting one Teferi, as Teferi is a little bit worse when you are on the draw, and bouncing a Lovestruck Beast isn't the greatest thing. When in doubt, I tend to sideboard less, because this deck requires so much synergy that just not breaking up all of the ways the pieces fit together is usually the right call. It's much easier to over sideboard than it is to under sideboard. All right, so we'll see what Rinny brings in game 2. I do like having some of the catch-all answers, like the Banishing Light, because I do suspect that they probably have some Great Henge and potentially some Planeswalkers like Nissa in there. Alright, and we are definitely living the dream. We get Starfield into Doom Foretold with Omen of the Sea to keep it alive on our upkeep on turn 4. So, an easy keep here. And this will actually highlight two of the key interactions of the deck. One of them being Starfield Mystic, making our enchantments more affordable, and the second one being playing the Omen of the Sea on your upkeep to keep your Doom Foretold going. So there is the Pelt Collector, but they missed it on turn 1, so that's definitely a stroke of luck for us. And again, the plan here is to Doom Foretold into an Omen of the Sea. And that's going to allow us to build up some nice card advantage in the long run as well. Like not taking the pain from a land there, so Swamp is a welcome draw. It's possible that they consider adapting here. I would definitely be okay with that though, even though they are going to get an additional card in hand. The idea of them taking their whole turn to adapt a creature only to sacrifice it would be pretty good for us. Alright, a Mobilized District. Makes sense in a monocolored deck. Oh, the Thrashing Brontodon, okay. So that's a pretty powerful combo. And we're a white source short currently of being able to Wrath or Archon. So I am going to keep the Doom Foretold going since they can't actually destroy it before the trigger goes down the stack. And Dance of the Manse is fantastic. I really want to find a white source, so I'm a little bit less inclined to keep the Omen of the Sea. But I cannot give up the Dance of the Manse here. Actually, this will help us find the white source as well, so I'm going to keep that too. We'll sack this Omen and draw for the turn. And we'll let them think that the Doom Foretold is going away again, only to get them with the Omen of the Sea trick twice in a row, hopefully. But yeah, if we find a white source, which we should be able to, we can do things like Archon into Dance of the Dance, and really just flood the board with a bunch of life-linking flyers. Another Growth Chamber Guardian. So here, I'm going to do this on our turn, so a little bit less surprising, and they can choose to blow up the Doom Foretold if they'd like. Man, still no white source, and neither of these is super helpful. Teferi's not bad. It does draw a card and slow them down. I think I'm okay drawing the Teferi, but I don't need another Starfield Mystic right now. Alright, we'll send that to the yard. So we're going to be buying it back with a Dance of the Dance soon. And let's make them make a choice on blowing up the Doom Foretold or not.
You show remorse. I'll show
If they do this, it stops us from drawing a card, but they're also not adapting this turn.
Hey, that was uncalled for.
Okay, and next turn, we're likely to hopefully play a Dance of the Dance and get back Doom Foretold in both Omens. We do need to hit one more land drop to make that happen. If that's not the case, we'll probably just play out Teferi and bounce one of the Growth Chamber Guardians, assuming that they have a land in hand. So I would love for them to attack Teferi since we have the backup, so that worked out really nicely. And I believe we've already killed one Growth Chamber Guardian, so they've only got one left in their deck. We can Banishing Light, but I really want to hit that next land drop, so we are going to bounce.
I am not.
I'm happy to get rid of this 4/4, slow them down even more. Alright, and we drew a natural Doom Foretold, but we really need one more land. Worst case scenario, we can either Doom Foretold or Banishing Light. And we do have Wrath if we ever find that second white source. Okay. Start with the Omen of the Sea. Gotta find a land off of this. I'd be shocked if we don't. Okay. And as much as I want a white source, I'm happy to take a land here. And now the question is, Doom Foretold or Banishing Light? Doom Foretold is pretty much always the right answer. Worst case scenario, we are getting hit for 7 next turn. They can adapt and play and use the Mobilized District. But even at 4 life, I feel relatively safe. And if they have something like Questing Beast, which is definitely a possibility, playing the Questing Beast would take too much mana for them to also use the Mobilized District. So in that case, we'd go to 3, and we should still be in good shape there. And we'll finally get to Dance of the Dance. Let's see what they do first. Looks like they're hovering over the Mobilized District, so that feels like a strong possibility. I'd actually love for them to Thrashing Brontodon and then sack it to blow up the Doom Foretold immediately. So we can get another one back with the Dance of the Dance. and cause them to spend their turn doing that, but that seems unlikely. They'll probably wait until the trigger goes on for our turn. Alright, so Mobilized District is getting in, and we are going to go down to 4 life. And there's the last Growth Chamber Guardian. Alright, sack that. Okay. Let's go with the plan of Dance for 4. I realize now I should not have played a land before that. I should have waited to draw a white source. Small mistake. Second Dance of the Man seems pretty unnecessary at this point. Although we could Archon and Dance for... Oh, I need the land for this as well, so... We'll take both of these things. Get rid of that. Alright, so we're going to go to 1 here. If they do have Questing Beast, unfortunately we will have lost. It does say non-land, non-token, so they can't activate Mobilized District to get around this. Oh, this... No, I feel bad for them now. That was not good. Not only did they attempt to do something that they cannot do, but they've also tapped their Mobilized District in doing so, so they will not get to attack with it. Yeah, that's a painful one for them. But they're always going to remember that Doom Foretold does not allow you to sacrifice lands. Alright. Bit of a blunder by our opponent at the end, but it felt like we turned the corner anyway, so in the long run, not a big deal. I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. Thank you for joining. Thank you for all the new viewers. And for those of you that are